Becoming Naomi Leone, Chapter 6, A School of Fish, page 52. The minute I walked into the classroom, Ms. Morimoto said, "Naomi, your hair looks lovely like that." I smiled at her and walked to my seat. Mrs. Morimoto was a Japanese version of Fabiola. She had the same exact curly hair, and instead of long aprons, she preferred flowing skirts in bright colors. Students at Buena Vista Elementary prayed to get assigned to Miss Morimoto for 5th grade, because every year in January she took the whole class out to dinner at a fancy restaurant and to a play at the Old Globe Theater in San Diego. It was her claim to fame. Besides that, she was nice and didn't take any nonsense from the troublemakers. One of the boys from the back of the room yelled, "Ooh, Naomi!" The boys all laughed, but the girls didn't, and I could see they were inspecting me top to bottom. Sensing their stares, I sat down right away and busied myself with looking in my desk until the start bell rang. I was secretly smiling, but I sure wished I could control the warmth crawling up my neck and cheeks. Ms. Morimoto clapped her hands to get our attention. "People!" She always called us people. "I'd like you to meet a new student who has just transferred to Buena Vista, Blanca Paloma. She comes to us from Atascadero, California. Please make her feel welcome. Blanca?" Ms. Morimoto looked toward the side of the classroom. A skinny girl with long black hair, even curlier than Fabiola's or Ms. Morimoto's, stood up and quickly sat back down. Maybe it was my French braid, or maybe Blanca didn't know yet that I wasn't one of the makeup sleepover girls, but at morning recess she came right up to me and started chattering away. I didn't understand 2 words she said. "I don't speak Spanish," I finally told her. Like a light flickering from off to on, she changed to English. "You're not Mexican? Funny, you look Mexican. We just moved here, you know. My mom works for Value City. Know what my name means in English? White dove. What's your name?" "Naomi Outlaw." "Wow, you talk so soft. Get closer so I can hear you better. Just Naomi Outlaw? No middle name?" I took a step closer and gave her the full version. "Naomi Soledad Leon Outlaw, but I just go by Naomi Outlaw." "Leon? That means lion. You're Naomi the Lion." She wasn't making fun, just saying it matter of fact. "What's Soledad mean?" I asked. "Soledad is some big saint in Mexico. Man and woman are named after her. I have an Uncle Soledad who raises goats. They stink." I laughed. "Who did your hair like that? It looks amazing." "My mother," I said. The word sounded as strange as Spanish on my tongue. My mom never learned French braiding because she works all the time. I go to the Y for the before and after school programs. It's just her and me because she's divorced from my dad. We've lived in Walnut Creek, Riverside, Atascadero, and now Lemon Tree, all in 2 years. She's moving up in the company. So, is it just you and your mom too?" "I live with my grandma and my brother, but right now my mom is just visiting." "Just visiting? How come she doesn't live with you?" She left us with my gram when we were little." "What about your dad?" asked Blanca. "Divorced. Same as me. I don't see my dad very much. What's yours like?" "I don't know. He lives in Mexico. He's never come to see us." "You don't know anything about him? You should ask. That's what my mom always says. Ask lots of questions and you'll get lots of answers. You deserve to know about your own life, right?" Page 56. "You don't know my gram. She doesn't like to dig up old bones." "That's funny. Dig up old bones. Hey, I heard we're having conferences next week. Maybe our moms could meet. Then they could arrange for us to get together. What do you think?" "Maybe," I said. Should I tell Blanca I had only known Skyla for 2 days? "Have you ever been to Mexico?" asked Blanca. "In my whole life I've never been. My dad promised he'd take me someday. Hey, did you know I get a discount on anything at Value City since my mom's a manager? Graham would call Blanca a jabbermouth, but I liked her and was already hoping she would stick close to me all day. I didn't have to worry. At lunch, she grabbed her bag and stayed on my elbow until we reached the library. Mr. Marble looked at me and said, "And who is this person with the elaborately plaited hair?" Then he bowed to Blanca. "Ah, the new student. I heard about you in the staff room this morning. Welcome to our safe haven. Is there a particular subject you are interested in, Blanca? Because if so, I can highly recommend a book on just about anything. After all, I am a librarian. Since it's lunchtime, can I interest you in some mind food? Or, since we have an aquarium, I could also offer you some fish food." We both giggled and sat down at a table. "Wow, you eat in here?" said Blanca. "Like a club, huh?" I had never thought of it that way. I just thought it was where all the leftover kids ate. When we took out our sandwiches, Mr. Marble arranged the glass display case. First, he stacked a bunch of little boxes inside and covered them with a giant silky red scarf. Then he placed dolls dressed in costumes from different countries on the little boxes. These are Ms. Dominguez's private collection. Ms. Dominguez, in case you don't know, Blanca, is our principal. She collected these as a girl. Now, everyone close your eyes. I am going to add some ambience. We closed our eyes. "Ta-da! What do you think?" he said. When we opened our eyes, he had turned on the light inside the display case. The light, reflecting against the scarves, made the dolls shine with a rosy glow. I nodded my approval. Mr. Marble changed the case every few weeks, and he always decorated it perfect, so a student just couldn't resist stopping and looking inside. Sometimes, if Mr. Marble knew that a student or a teacher had a collection of some kind, like rocks or baseball cards, he would display them. My dream was to make it to the glass case at the library, and to be known for something other than my current reputation as the weird kid sister with a funny last name, who wore clothes that matched her great-grandma's polyester wardrobe. Blanca was right about asking lots of questions. In that one lunch period, she found out that Mimi Messmaker was going on a cruise over winter vacation, and that John Lee sometimes loaded the donut-making machine. She also discovered that Mr. Marble was from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Kalamazoo was going to the splendid words list and unusual names. When the bell rang, they all walked out ahead of me, but I hung back. Mr. Marble must have taken Blanca's cue about asking questions, because he said, "Naomi Outlaw, is there something on your mind? Can I help you?" I nodded and whispered, "My mother came back." Mr. Marble put his hand on his cheek. "What an interesting turn of events! And how is that working out?" I thought about that for a moment, chewing on my bottom lip. I finally answered, "I don't know. Good, I think. Thank you for sharing with me, Naomi Outlaw. I know how hard it is to open up sometimes. I hope you will have more to tell me later." I nodded and gave him a little smile. I hope so, too. At Buena Vista, we only had bus service in the mornings, so when school was out, Blanca and I stood on the front steps, waiting to get picked up. I had warned her about Owen. When he arrived with his tape and his funny walk and his throaty voice, she shrugged her shoulders and said, "That's it? You should meet my cousin. He's in junior high, and he's a lot weirder than Owen." Graham pulled up to the curb in her green Toyota. "I'll meet you right here Monday morning, okay, Naomi the Lion?" said Blanca, pointing to the steps. "Okay," I said, waving. I had already decided I was going to add a Tascadero to my splendid words list. As I walked toward Graham's car, I smoothed my new jeans, readjusted my stretchy shirt, and found myself smiling and feeling like a shiny penny. My new look had brought me good luck, and I had my mother to thank.